Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for stopping by to check out my latest video. And today I have a thrift store haul video to share with you guys. And this is a combination of like 3 or 4 thrift stores over the course of maybe a month's worth of shopping. I travel back and forth between our lake place, and we have an apartment, and I stop a lot, coming and going at different thrift stores. Also, our local community has 2 thrift stores that I shop at. And so again, this is not just one visit thrift store shopping. This is, you know, several times until I think I have enough to share with you guys. And there's organization stuff in this video, fabric and lace, maybe a small amount of card making, some mixed media stuff. And then also some items like that I like to alter or make over. So that's kind of what you're going to see in this haul if you decide to continue to watch. And these first couple items that I set out are like more organization stuff. I recently redid my craft room. I have a really nice large space craft room. If you guys missed that, I will try and link that video below. But I am looking at changing out like some of my plastic storage containers into like wood containers. So that's one of the main reasons why I've been hitting the thrift stores, is to look for different ways to organize things. And so I did come across a couple of things, and this is the first one. And this one, our local community thrift store, every week they have a different color tag that they switch out to be 50% off, and then they usually have, because they're trying really hard to get rid of their clothes too, they always have certain extra color tags clothing that are like discounted too. But the week I was there, or the couple of weeks, one week the yellow tags were 50% off, and one week the green ones were. And so this one I did get at 50% off. And this one actually had like Christmas candles, like floating Christmas candles in them. You can kind of see they were on the back of some floating candles, but I was only interested in the box, so I actually ended up just leaving the floating candles at the thrift store, because I told the lady, I said, all I want is the box, so you can try and resell the candles if you want. But it's a nice wood box, and these are fun to leave as is, or I like to paint them and add like little like furniture decals or rub-ons on them on the fronts, or else you can stencil numbers on them, those kind of things. So again, just a nice little organization type box. This one I thought was really fun too. This one looks, I couldn't tell if this one was homemade or not. It looks like it was made from pallet wood, but it's kind of rough and I don't necessarily like the color, so I'm probably going to sand it down a little bit to redo this one, and I'll take this off and then put it back on. I really like the book plate on the front of that one, but I don't really like the wood color of it. I don't know if someone tried to whitewash it or what they did on this one, but I think it's still a fun little organization thing. It just will look better if I paint it up and do something with it. So these are all probably going to be projects for this summer, because I like to go sit outside on my deck and then I'll paint a whole bunch. I'll just like mass produce and paint a whole bunch of things at the same time, especially if I'm using the same 1 or 2 colors. So those 2, and then this box right here. And this one I think actually came from probably the $5 spot at Target, but this one they had it they had it to $2, and then because it was a yellow tag that day, I got it for $1. So so I picked it up for $1. I thought that was a good deal. And then I love old vintage jars, and so here was a fun old vintage jar that I found. This one was $2.49. And the thing with these is if you don't like the color of the tops, you can always spray paint them any color you want, or like this one's kind of scuffed up. If I'm spray painting something else, I might spray paint this one. But I do check to make sure that they're relatively clean on the insides before I buy them. But I do love these. And what I love about these ones is I will put my like crocheted like trims in these that I find, like the ones off of pillowcases and stuff, and they're fun to look at sitting on the shelf. So I was happy to come across another one of these types of jars, because it can hold quite a bit. It's a pretty big size jar. So a couple more organization things to share with you that I found at the thrift store. I did find this jar, and I believe that it maybe originally held honey in it, and it was a Martha Stewart one because it does say Martha Stewart on the back. And I am going to run this through the dishwasher and pull off this back sticker that says Martha Stewart, but on the front it does say 1 pound of pure honey, and I thought that was a really cute jar. I love jars like this. You put your flat back pearls, your pearls, sequins, just small little embellishment things, and they look so cute when you have a container full of them sitting on your shelf. And so I did pick up this jar. This one was 99 cents at one of the thrift stores. All of their jars are 99 cents unless they have price tags on them. And our store did have a couple of these, but I just picked up one of them to sit on one of my shelves. And then at one of the thrift stores, I did pick up this glass container for $1, and it has a cover and it comes off. And I already put on the inside, because another thrift store, they had a baggie full of these beads for $1, so I did pick those up. And so just kind of showing you how pretty this would look, you know, sitting on a shelf in your craft room with little pearls and beads. And I believe these were probably part of a necklace. And what was interesting about these is they are vintage and they're really heavy. They're not real pearls. I did check. They're not real. They are fake pearls, but they are really heavy compared to like the pearls that you buy nowadays at the craft store, the plastic ones. These have some weight to them. So that was kind of interesting for me when I picked up those. So these ones are vintage ones, but I love the kind of the off-white color of the ones in here. And so I'll just set those on one of my shelf, and when I need to add just 1 pearl or 2 pearls to something, I can just grab it easily from this container. And again, these would look really pretty too also. If I were to fill this up with that type of item in there, it would look really pretty in here too, but I do want to run this one through the dishwasher before I use that one. So no matter what thrift store I hit, I always have to check out their laces and doilies, their table linens, their napkins, just for when I do my fabric and lace projects. But also you can cut apart doilies to use in your junk journals. Or if you're making like a fabric cover, some of these work perfect to wrap around a fabric cover. And these ones I think came from like 3 different thrift stores. So this first one, the purple tag one, this one I paid 99 cents for. And again, this one would be a good one to use as a cover on a journal. So I don't know that I would cut this one up. These ones are all, this one actually says Martha Stewart. So this was a Martha Stewart one. That's interesting. Most of these are usually made in China type ones, but they're good. This one would be a good one to wrap around a cover of a journal. So I probably wouldn't do anything different with that one, but you could definitely still cut out these doilies, you know, if you wanted a larger one or a smaller one. These are fun centers right here to cut out. And then these trims too, you can hang off the bottoms of pages if you choose to cut it up. So that one was 99 cents. The ones with yellow, again, I got it from the thrift store where the tags were half off. And a couple of these are probably very similar. I think these ones, they called them placemat size. And again, these ones you could definitely use also for a journal cover. Or you could cut them apart. Because if you cut apart this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. There's 15 little doilies in there. And then again, you got the trim to add to something else if you choose to cut them up. But I usually leave them put together until I know how I'm going to use them. If I'm going to use them as a journal cover, then I don't have to do anything. But if you were to cut them up then, and then you decide you want them for a journal cover, you wouldn't be able to do that. So again, the same one. That one, it was half off, so that one was $1. This one was originally $2, and so that one, this one was a little bit larger one. But I got that one for $1 too, so that was kind of nice on this one. You know, it's a long table runner on that one. And some of these are stains, so I do try and run them through the wash machine first to see if I can get out stains. But again, if they're too bad of stains, I will just go ahead and tea dye them or coffee dye them. Or those are the ones that I take apart and use in journals. So I do wash any of the doilies that I buy at the thrift store. But these ones go through the washing machine and dryer just fine. Other ones I'll hand wash, but This one, for some reason, they had $3 on this one, but again, I got it half off, so this one was $1.50 again. Just another really long table runner on that. Sometimes it just depends upon who's doing the pricing at the thrift store. At our local thrift store, sometimes if I come across two things that are the same or the exact same thing, but they're priced differently and there's nothing wrong with either one of them, sometimes I can talk them into giving me both of them at the lower price. Which, you know, they kind of recognize me at some of the thrift stores since I stop by quite a bit. And then one of our local thrift stores, what they do for their doilies is they have a huge bin and they have them priced from $0.25 to $1. So the extra large ones they say are $1 and the small ones they say are $0.25. So sometimes it depends upon who's at the checkout counter, what they're going to charge you. But usually if you go up with a really large one or an extra large one and you say, oh, this is the extra large size, and then when you have some smaller ones, and they just say, oh, okay, those ones are $0.25. So that's what I did this time when I went in. You can see in the background, this really large one, they considered that one extra large. So that one, they charged me $1. And then the large ones were 75 cents. So I have two of those. And then the lady just said, I'll charge you $0.25 for the rest as the small price. But then the medium price was 50 cents. So I'll go through the smaller and get bigger, but I love the Battenberg ones when I find them. The two different heart ones. I thought these ones are kind of pretty. You know, this one almost looks like this one could have been hand done. I like it when I find the ones that are handmade versus the same with this one versus machine washed or machine made, like the made in China ones. This one has some staining on it, so I'm going to see if I can get that off. Otherwise, this one might get dyed or cut apart. You know, large white one here. And then here is that extra large one. And these ones, if they come clean after I wash them, sometimes I like when I send out Happy Mail, I like to wrap people's gifts in like table coverings or large doilies. But this one too would be a fun one. You could easily take this one apart. You'd have this doily in the middle. You could have all these little pineapple pieces here. And even this would be fun on a page. You could make those into like a pocket into a journal. So if you were to cut that one apart, that one has lots of possibilities too. And that one's relatively clean, I think. So I think this one should be able to clean up nicely in the washing machine. So for my next pile of items to share with you is kind of like some fabric and lace and maybe some card making stuff. I never pass up, if they're a decent price, I never pass up ribbon roses. And our local store usually prices them very nicely. This one was only 20 cents for the package. So if you buy like a set at like Walmart, I think they're over $1 now for a set. If Walmart has them. And I know at our other local craft store, they charge a few bucks for a package of ribbon roses. So if I can get one for 20 cents, 30 cents, I usually pick them up. And then this one was a great find for me. This one was $2. And I think this was the day that I actually went to our local thrift store where the yellow was 50% off. But the whole bag was full of these Hobby Lobby and it was closed. It was in a container. It was closed, so it hadn't been opened yet. But these were the his and her little flower sprays. They're the bead sprays with the tulle on them from Hobby Lobby that are originally $1.99 each. But the whole container was the price of one. So I got 12 of these for $1 since they were half off. And I've already used some of them, so that's why it's only half full. I used some of these. If you watched my egg carton video, that's where I put these when I was altering an egg carton, and then I gifted a couple of them to my swap partner. But I use these all the time, and I actually buy them at Hobby Lobby. So when I was able to thrift a whole thing, I was really excited about that find. And then also that day I was there, I found these, and again, they were yellow tags, so they were $2.50. But these are wood tags, and it's not that I like what they necessarily say, but I love that they're nice, thick, quality wood tags. And I'm thinking that they probably came from Dollar General, which is in our local area, but they're kind of like all like wine, making spirits bright, Peace, Love, Joy, and Wine. It looks like originally they were sold for $2.99, but I got the whole package, like I said, for $2.50. So I thought these would be fun. You could just cover them with paper and then decorate them when you send out Happy Mail. Or you can make them into ornaments. That would be something you could do too for Christmas. But I think I'm just going to cover them and like add flowers and embellishments and stuff when I send out Happy Mail. So I thought that was a pretty good deal for that whole bag. And then also at our local thrift store, they do have, every once in a while, get in like these little vintage seam bindings and little like laces. So I usually dig through there to see if they have any interesting colors. And our local store usually charges anywhere between 20 and 50 cents. When I go to Fargo, oftentimes I can find them for 50 cents. They're a little bit more expensive. But I just try and pick out the colors that I could see myself using for different seasons. This was a kind of a pretty color blue. This one was called Oriental Blue. This one was red, which this is always perfect for Valentine's Day or Christmas. White, I always pick up white or pink if they have it. I don't even hesitate on those ones. This one was brown. And then this one was lace. It says it's seam binding, but it's just little lace. And I love this type of lace for if I'm making tassels. This is perfect lace for tassels or even for the tops of tags. So when I find lace colors also in the seam binding style, I do pick that one up. And this one was called Mauve, the color of that one. Also, when I go to the thrift store, I also always look at clothing. Because once in a while you can get some good deals. Lately, clothing's been a little bit more expensive, at least at the thrift stores I shop at. But once in a while, if they have them reduced, you get a great deal. And I also check out like the shawls and the scarf section, because sometimes you get some really nice like trims off of them. And so this one's actually a shrug, so it's kind of like a shawl. And they originally had $4, but that one was $2 the day that I was there. And it's a beautiful pink color, which I'll be able to use that lace. So for $2, I mean, there was quite a bit of lace on here, but then you can take off the bottom and look at that pink fringe. You know, I've purchased pink fringe before, but sometimes it's kind of hard to find. So to be able to cut it off of this, I'll be able to use it. And then also I'll be able to use the pink lace on here too. So for $2, I thought that was an okay deal. And then same with this one too. This one I think was just a scarf. I haven't taken the thing out, but this one was $2, and I don't remember if I got this half off or not, but I just thought this was a beautiful kind of like a layering piece of lace on this one. So I picked that one up. Again, I think that one was just a little shawl thing. And then I really don't need any more lace, but I couldn't help myself when I saw the prices of some of this lace, so I just picked it up. It makes it easy to gift things too when you get stuff at great prices. A lot of this is very vintage lace. So this one, I have to see if I can find the price tag on this one. So this one was $1, and you can tell that there's way over a yard on this one. It's a pretty blue color, like a nice spring blue color. And this one is, I think, vintage or semi-vintage. It's probably from the 80s, early 80s. This one was $1.50. This nice kind of vintage color. And it's a little bit wider lace. Again, this one would be perfect for like a background lace, a layering lace. I loved this one. This one was $1.50. And I'll see if I can get my finger under it so you can kind of see it better. And then the other thing too is when you buy some of these, like these ones that are shaped nice like this, you could also use these as templates. These cardboard pieces for templates to make other things to hold lace. This one was just kind of a basic, it is a vintage white lace, but this one again was $1.50. But these ones I do love, like I said, for making tassels. And for $1.50 when you get more than a yard, you know, this one has several yards on it. One of the thrift stores I go to, they actually measure out how much yardage you get. This one I thought was a really good deal for only 50 cents. And this one you could actually, it looks like one that you'd maybe be made to put onto the edge of a pillowcase, but it had the crochet trim on it. And so you could just use that part, or it makes it easy where you could like slip it onto something and then sew it onto it. So, so I think there has to be probably over a yard on that one looking at it. So for 50 cents, that was a great deal. This one was $1.50. And I really want to say that this was the day that I was there. I can't remember because this is one of the first things I found earlier on one of my trips. I want to say that the green tags were 50% off. So they might have even been less than what I'm telling you guys. So this one might have been 75 cents and that one a quarter. I can't remember. It's been a while since I picked these up. But anyways, originally it was $1.50. So whether I got it for that or half off, it was a great deal. But this is kind of a beautiful, and I don't know if it's not really quite off-white or ivory, but it's not really quite pink, but a beautiful color on that one. And that one, there's probably just a couple yards left on that one. This one I know was very bright, and I probably should have passed it up, but even if I just use a little bit of it, it'll be good. This one was $1.50. And again, I was kind of thinking of when I was doing a gypsy or a boho themed journal, which I have a lot of stuff already purchased for that. I just need to sit down and start working on it. But I have been picking up whenever I see trims that I think might be nice. And then who knows, maybe after I'm done with my journals, if I decide not to keep some of the lace and stuff, I'll either gift it or maybe do a de-stash or something with the brighter colored laces. But that was still a decent price, I thought. Same with this one too. I was thinking the same, my gypsy or boho themed journal. This one was $1. So again, I want to say, like I said, it must have been, I think, the day that the green tags were 50% off, because this was only 50 cents for all this lace, and if I just use a little bit of it, I'm happy. This one was a bright green, but it had the roses on it, and I thought that would still make a really pretty pocket in a journal. And I loved this lace right here. This one I thought was just gorgeous. $2, and there's a ton on here. And this one's American made. And I think it doesn't say which, oh, New York. This one came from Madison Avenue, New York. So, so beautiful trim on that one. And then I think this one must be, because this one looks exactly the same, but it's purple. It's kind of a purple color. And this one was $1.50. So another beautiful vintage lace on that one. And then I did pick up the black. Sometimes it's hard to find black lace. And this one was $1.50. I do like to use this sometimes if I'm doing like kind of a black and neutral type journal or for Halloween. So that's what that one looks like. And again, you got several, I would guess at least 3 yards on that one. So this is the last part of the thrift haul, and it's just kind of some random things that I wanted to share with you guys. So our local thrift store, I did find this, and it was 50 cents, and it's a bed spring. And I do plan on taking off the Christmas stuff that's on there. It's not my style. If they're hot glued on, all you have to do is like take a heat tool or a heat gun, and you just lightly add heat towards it, and then you can usually pull the things off, no problem. You can buy these bed springs. I've seen them at like our local antique mall, and they're $2 or $3 just depending upon whose booth you are in. So when I found this one for 50 cents, I picked it up. But these are just fun for home decor. Also, I like to collect birds and bird nests, you know, for home decor. And so they're fun to just set on top of these types of springs. I also seen lots of different things. Like this one was like a Christmas decoration. I've seen other better, well put together Christmas decorations using these bed springs like this. So if you look on Pinterest, you can find some other ideas. I'm just going to use it as a home decor thing, but I thought it was fun for 50 cents. And then I've been looking for a while for a clock like this that I could take apart. I really want to decorate and put something fun on the inside of my clock, like some flowers or a little scene, you know. And so this one looked like I could easily take it apart, their screws, and take the whole guts out. And so I did buy this one. This one was $2.50, $2.49. And so I thought this one was easy enough to be able to do something with, and it's, you know, kind of a fun one. I'm going to spray paint it. I'm probably going to do a shabby chic style. I know Tim Holtz had some clocks like this available a while ago, and I just never could pay the price of what they were. And so, but I was willing to pay $2.50 for an attempt to try and do this one. So I'll put this in my stash of stuff to alter. I also picked this up at one of the thrift stores, and when I was there that day, this was, I think, the only thing I walked out with. They did have craft stuff for 50% off that day, so I got this for $1, and they're just like flower petals. So you can glue these all around like a felt circle or something, and just keep on layering them into a flower, or if you make your own like layered flowers with lots of different bits and pieces, these are really fun to put in there just as little extras. I've also seen some fun things where people can like decorate like a dress, like somebody's dress, like a mixed media dress or a painting, and use these flower petals. And I believe that these flower petals are just used for like wedding flower petals. But for 99 cents, they're kind of fun. And I actually do already have a few, but when I found some more for 99 cents, I did pick them up. And what's nice about the white ones is you can like color them any color you want with your inks or your re-inkers. And so this one, I do actually always look at office supplies too when I'm at thrift stores. Sometimes I find interesting things. And this one, again, the day I was there, it was green tags, so they were half off. So for $1, I got all of these like brad fasteners. And these ones are fun. You can connect a couple of pages and make like little small mini journals within your journals using these, or put them at the top like a scrap paper page flip or something. And so I do have a few of these already, but when I could find all of these ones in here for $1, I picked them up. So I'll probably be set for a lifetime now on those. And then also at the thrift stores, I always pick up pieces of wood. I do some home decor stuff where I make like risers. I've never showed them on my YouTube channel, but my husband also collects like petrified wood and some fossils and stuff. And so sometimes we make risers and we set his stuff on top of them. And so we'll just add little wood legs or different things underneath them to lift them up. And then I just paint them black. So whenever I can find wood for $1 or so, I pick them up. Sometimes I even pick up old signs to make over into risers. Wood is still pretty expensive at the hardware store right now. So if I can repurpose something that I find at the thrift store, it's a pretty good deal. So, and again, I think this is probably the day that the green tags were 50% off. So I probably got this one for 50 cents. If for some reason you guys want to see how I make a riser, if you leave that in the comments below, I can do a video on it. I know there's a lot of like more home decor YouTube channels out there that can show you how to do it. But if you want to know, I'm definitely willing to show you guys. There's really not much to them. But, and then I just have a couple last things to show you that I picked up. So for those of you that maybe watch Gail Agostinelli, I sometimes watch her or listen to her when I craft. She's an easy person to listen to, and because she talks when she crafts, and she doesn't get a lot done when, you know, usually in the 45 minutes to an hour of her videos, but she's a good one to kind of have as like a background person, like you almost feel like you're crafting with someone when I watch her. So I do her if I'm trying to concentrate on something that I'm crafting, but I still want some background noise, so I do watch Gail, and I do enjoy her channel. But recently she's been doing a like correspondence journal. Like whenever she gets happy mail, she puts in items into a journal. And so she was making a correspondence journal, and she used like a children's encyclopedia, But I thought, oh, that would be fun. I've never done that. I try and repurpose items that people give me in Happy Mail. But I thought, well, maybe it would be fun to actually make a journal and put the items in a journal. And so she was using an encyclopedia, like I said, a children's encyclopedia. But I saw this at the thrift store and I was looking for books. And this was like a rummage sale price there, the $2. Our thrift store just charges $1 for hardcovers. But I thought this would be a really fun one to take apart and do for something similar. So, so I think I am going to do that with this one. It just, you know, lots of vintage advertising and stuff on these pages. So I could definitely put these into the journal. And so I think that would be fun to do what Gail has done on that. So I'm going to do it with this book instead of the children's encyclopedia that she's doing. So I'm going to go ahead and try that one day, or start working on that. I'll probably do that on maybe a YouTube, a craft, you know, a couple craft with me videos on that one. So I picked that one up, and our thrift store did have a couple more of these. So if this one goes well, I might go pick up a couple more, see what they have left. And then the last two items I want to share with you are boxes that I bought. I love altering boxes. Sometimes I'll do cigar boxes if they're the newer cigar boxes. The older ones I like to use for storage in my craft room. But I'm usually willing to alter almost any type of box I find if they're a good deal. And then I also, at the thrift store, I check out the kids' toy section, because especially the game section, because I'm looking for some old vintage bingo cards. So I usually run down that aisle real quick. And this day when I was running down the aisle, they had some puzzles, and they were in these really fun boxes. And they were $2 for the box, and I can't remember if they had got them for $2 or if it was $1, but either way, I'm fine with whatever I paid for them. But these, you just slide them out, and then of course they had the puzzle pieces on the inside, which I'll probably put the puzzles together and see if they're good puzzles, and if they are, I'll just rebag them and redonate them to the thrift store, because some kid will probably enjoy doing these. You know, I could keep them and do some altered puzzle pieces if I wanted. If I find a set that's maybe not fully, I'll do that. But I just thought that this was such a fun idea for a box to alter. So they were $2 each. So there was this one, nice long one. And then there was this one that was a little bit more oblong. And this one looked like an interesting puzzle. This one almost looked like it had some vintage advertising on this when I was just looking at the pieces, because I saw like Kellogg's and like cereal brands. And so this one actually might be like an adult type puzzle, but I thought it might be interesting to put this one together first before I get rid of it. So, but I am going to keep the box either way, and of course I'll cover it all up, and you know, you maybe make a slide so it's easier. This one needs actually like something to slide. This one's a little bit tougher to slide, but I think if you put on like some sort of handle, or even, it feels like maybe there's a handle thing on the other side of this one, so I might flip this one around, pull it out and flip it around. So that one was $2 also for that box. Thank you again, everybody, so much for watching today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And until next time, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day and happy crafting.